What's up? Y'all made it back to the channel. Today, we about to go super in, because this really gonna be a video focused on the whole year of 2019. And it's gonna be one of the most important videos you watch in the whole fucking year of 2019. So I hope you catch this at the beginning of the fucking year. And I hope you are willing to share this message if it relates to you. And I hope you're willing to like this message if it relates to you. Anyway, today I'm about to be going super duper deep because everybody has to be at their peak of awareness right now. You feel me? The whole training exercise, everything you've been preparing for the last 3 to 4 years is leading up to 2020 in reality, you know? But this year is going to be like the final chapter right before you get to the final chapter of a book. You feel me? And I wanted to dive deep into that because there's going to be a lot of things going on with manipulation. The year 2019 is definitely going to be a year of manipulation. You feel me? A lot of things are going to be birthed in the year 2019 too. Ideas that you never even considered before, even though during your awakening, completely new ideas that you're going to just start to feel or be real. Every day they're going to get realer and realer to you. The things that are lying dormant in your mind, the thoughts in the back of your head, all these things that you're feeling that really don't get a chance to come out. This is going to be that time for that. Now, I got to give a goddamn, forgot what it's called, a waiver or not a waiver, whatever they say on TV. Basically, y'all know that I don't really support the European or the Julian calendar, so I don't even think it's really 2019, but I'm gonna go with that because I know that's the best way for everybody to understand what we're talking about right now. But yeah, I had to throw that out there. Anyway, we have to realize that at this point in time, you feel me, either you are going to be eating or you're going to be getting eaten and basically being consumed and being forced to be controlled by somebody else. When you're eating other things, you don't have to eat other people, of course. And I'm not talking about a real physical eat. I'm talking about a metaphysical or metaphorical being eat or eaten. Like a dog eat dog world, you know that phrase? This is the perfect year for that. You feel me? I'm not sure if it's even the year of the dog or not, but in China, but I do know for sure that that's the mentality that we're going for this year. It's a very Anubis type energy because, like I said, we're at the gateway of a new something coming through. And I'm gonna be real. Like I said, it's the year of manipulation. So the new something that's coming through is actually some old shit. You feel me? And that's why it's manipulation. Because it's literally just a dog eat dog type shit right now. You feel me? Now you can have a pack. Like, you know how they got wolves? It's a dog eat dog world. You can have a pack. You feel me? You could be a dog, everybody around you could be a dog. You could have your squad so you can know everybody in your squad, everybody in your pack gonna be protected. You could be a lone wolf. You feel me? Not really trust anybody, not really have to expend or exchange too much energy with people who you might not like just to be comfortable. Or your ass gonna be fucking eating, bro. And the eating is this. People are gonna be at it's gonna be a roller coaster. It's gonna be a roller coaster ride type shit. You're gonna have really steep tests, but when you are getting tested, it's important to realize it's temporary this year. Because if you don't realize when you're at your weakest this year, when you're at your very weakest, people will literally make up new ways to make you weaker, to make you more submissive to them. So it's about focusing on you, getting the shit that you want to get done, and the shit that your pack wants to get done, or your family, whatever y'all focused on that. You feel me? And you don't make any compromises with your power. It's a year of gaining power, or you're going to be gaining power or losing power. Nobody's going to end the year with the same amount of power. And that's important because, you know, that's the year before an election year in the society of America. Then on top of that, you have a lot of manipulation going on with spirituality now, and the New Age movement is at its peak in the Western world. A lot of the poly shit is coming back. You know, polygamy, polytheism, things like poly shit. Like basically not feeling restricted to choosing one thing or just choosing from one to out of three things. Just actually having the choice to wake up and choose whether you want to choose some days, and it actually be some new shit. You feel me? That is where the power lies, actually. And the more that you're relying on other people to give you that freedom and not establishing it yourself, because you know you have that strength inside of you, you're going to be feeling really high sometime this year too. You're going to be feeling super confident. But these two dualities of highs and lows are an illusion. And you have to realize that it's all, every single media out there is to either make you super happy or super sad. It's not going to make you feel content. Nothing's going to make you feel content this year. The only thing that probably will make you feel content this year is love. But I can guarantee you it's going to be a lot of power struggles if you going into like some love type shit this year. With that being said, you have to understand that the spirituality is in a way connected to the manipulation, hand in hand, because we are at a time in where a lot of people feel like they know they have the truth, okay? And the people who they got the truth from, the truth that they feel like they have, the people who they got that from are either dying out now or they're shutting the fuck up and don't want to say shit. You know why they doing that? You know why they doing that? You know why they doing that? It's because all this time they were doing nothing but vampiring your energy. They were taking your attention. They were taking your physical body, taking your free mind, transforming it into what they wanted to be with their own creations. But the key to that is that they didn't plan on it actually working. They didn't plan on you actually listening to them. They didn't think that they really had the truth. So they fed this to you as if when you have this truth, you're going to be able to do something with it too, just like I did. But you're going to be able to do something with it beyond just telling you. You're going to be able to do something better than that. And this is the whole jug, you feel me? Because if it's not truly a desire or a need of your physical body, of your spirit, if it's not a desire or something that your spirit needs, you feel me, then you're being manipulated. Like the outcome of the process of your manipulation, you could look back on that and be happy or sad. But at the end of the 2019, if you don't have control of your own decision making, even if you don't trust yourself, by the end of 2019, you will end up trusting yourself better because you're going to realize that nobody else is going to take care of you like you can. But by the end of 2019, when 2020 come around, you're not going to have that free choice and that free will no more. The manipulation is going to be set. It's going to be set like night. It's going to be set like coming and wiping a fucking sun out the sky. You feel me? So the manipulation is going to be internal and external. And that's why, people who are what we consider to be elite or of, who we consider to be the antagonists, the people who are the bad guys, doing all the GMO shit and all the shit we don't fuck with, chemtrails and shit like that. They are aware of the internal conflict that's going on because they control the media and they want people to literally be at war with themselves. And if you're at war with yourself, with the Martian energy inside of yourself, that makes it easier for you to accept a war outside of yourself. You feel me? So you see that in cultures like ours, where we have a government that is not a real government. It's really a militia. It's really like literally. If you go look back at the history of the United States and most of the countries in the Western world, if you go look at the history of that, it's a story of a militia taking down a big empire. It's not like a spiritual leader taking down it's not a motherfucker who's actually good for you taking over. It's a nigga who's like, I'm tired of this other nigga. But you don't know anything else about them. With that being said, the government that we have presently today, you feel me? They are they thrive off of war. We know this. We know they thrive off of war. We done watched all the documentaries over and over again. But the simple documentaries that truly woke you up are the truly spiritual ones. The people who tell you the people who tell you simple morality that Jesus tried to tell your ass in your youth. Don't believe in separatism. There's no such thing as black and white. Love your neighbor and all this shit. Of course, we know that those are relative terms. You're not supposed to do that in every situation just because Jesus or a spiritual leader said so. But the key to that is this. There is nothing you can do more spiritual than simplicity shit. There's nothing more spiritual than simple shit. Anything that is a process that is complicated, it's not spiritual. It's science. It's intellectual. You feel me? It's not something that you just feeling that you are and that you don't really have to control. It's just there. It's something that you feel like you created and you have to maintain it. And if you're not around, then this shit isn't gonna work. And if it does work without you, then it's not gonna be right because your ego is not gonna be happy about it. And that's where the internal conflict is coming from. You feel me? They know that by, all these people watching Zeitgeist, all these people connected with Bill Cooper and Bill Cooper, like people like on the underground circuit and up in New York with the conscious community shit. They know that those people started off their consciousness with simplistic spiritualities, teaching people simple ways to control the human mind. Not necessarily teach you how to defend yourself from other people could try to control your mind, but literally showing you how other people can control your mind or how you can control your mind with the same techniques or how the mind is controlled or how the mind processes in general. They know these things. They know that, you feel me, your favorite teacher online or your favorite spiritual teacher got his shit from simplicity. But what they realized over time is that they had nothing to be afraid of because those people didn't really get the fucking message. They didn't get the message. They still are like trying to make it seem like they're prepping you to get the message and live the message. But this is the key right here though. It's not even about anything beyond the simple. It's nothing for you beyond the simple spiritual lessons, which are just to enjoy life. Do not believe in suffering. Do not resist. Do not have tension in your body. Simple shit that the Buddhas and all these philosophers and all these prophets came and said 1,000,000 times over and over and over. The reason that shit don't work is because we think that there's a chance for us to practice this in a civilization. That's where you've been manipulated. Anybody, I want you to realize this too, 2019. Anybody who come around you always in a spiritual mood or happy and positive and all this other shit, blah, 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 they're trying to manipulate you. They are not real people. They are not being genuine people. They do not truly care about you. And to an extent, they probably only care about themselves or they don't even care about themselves in reality. And this is key because you see a lot of spiritual people nowadays pursuing the cult of death or pursuing the cult of life, which, from a Zen Buddhist point of view, from a Soja point of view, you can see that as a dualism that's really to be laughed at more than to be chosen from. because we're taking the middle path. We all know we're supposed to be taking the middle path. You're not supposed to be sad. You're not supposed to be all happy all the time and shit too. You're supposed to be living, nigga. Like experiencing shit. To keep going was the whole purpose. Your ego and your consciousness literally thrives off of the idea of I'm here. I'm doing this. You don't need anything else outside of that. You don't need anything else but the will to actually be here. And that's natural. That's something that you already have. But when these spiritual people try to give you this self-help type shit, when these spiritual people try to give you this, I'm not better than you, but I have ways to make you better type shit. If they themselves are not balanced, and you can tell what balance is, that means that you're not necessarily, you feel like, if you feel like you got everything together, if you feel like you got it all together in your head and that everything is lined up and that you know that this and this means this, that means you're not spiritual. That means you're not really getting the message. And that means you're only trying to manipulate people to think what you want to think. If your spiritual teacher, if somebody who's around you saying they spiritual or anything like that is giving you a complete package, like this is what this is what the universe is, believe this, and if you won't have no problems no more. But somehow they're sitting right here trying to sell this to you, which is the universe telling you that doesn't work for them. Because if you didn't have no problems, you wouldn't be right here selling this shit to me. No problems means you're not forced to fucking be a slave. You're not forced to sell somebody some shit that they don't need just so you can survive. And that's what a lot of spiritual teachers are doing. They're trying to make it seem like it's not about the money. It's not about them living. But if anybody if anybody is telling you, and that's what I don't fuck with a lot of shit going on YouTube with that occult shit. Occult does not mean negative necessarily. And occult doesn't mean that, oh yeah, this is a higher truth than the other truth. Occult literally means hidden. Hidden. Okay? Now, hidden. So you telling me this is occult information, but you're sitting right here on YouTube and I can just type in your Google name or some shit like that and it pops up everything. That's not occult. That's not hidden. It's right there in your face that it's not hidden. And it's right there in your face that they actually care about life. And they can't tell you that, oh yeah, I'm only here to die. I don't care about this planet. I'm not doing this and I get everything and I don't have anything to prove to you. If you had nothing to prove to me, then you wouldn't be on YouTube. If you had nothing to prove to me, you wouldn't be doing anything like how to be doing, bro. And the reason I'm just going in on this is because it's the year where your ass is going to become a slave again. This is the year where you are solidifying your slavery or you're solidifying you being free to have dominion over other people. That's what it's about. I'm sorry if you don't want to hear that, but that's what it's about. And we have to stop trusting the internet. We have to stop trusting things outside of ourselves. We have to start communicating with each other on real subjects that are not spiritual and hypothetical. Like, I always hear people be like, did you know that people didn't believe in the people who built the airplane, and then when they built the airplane, everybody believed in them, they was happy and all this shit, blah, blah, blah. And I can relate that to spirituality because some people feel like, you know, by them practicing certain spiritual practices that over time you're going to look back at them and be like, oh, I see a major difference in you. That's so beautiful. Tell me how I can do this. And then you just going to hop on a plane type shit. But that's where your ego is driving you. If you're trying to grow spiritually for somebody else, then that person who you're trying to grow spiritually for automatically sees you as somebody who needs to grow. Now, that's not something bad. Just because you need to grow is not bad. A lot of people still need to grow. We all need to grow to an extent. But by the mere fact of me seeing a flaw in you that you necessarily don't agree with or you didn't realize before, and that you didn't take the time to comprehend it in yourself, that shows that you need growth. It's the everyday actions and the things that you decide in your everyday life which decide who you are and what you are and the spirit and the energy that you carry within your vessel. So when people come to other people to manipulate them, they do not do it in a way where they want to they don't want to do it where they want you to know that they're trying to manipulate you ahead of time. They actually want to manipulate you and not even, you'll never know. But that's what really successful, good manipulators do. But the key is that, to be confident. If you're confident in what you already know, they call this cognitive dissonance. Then if you persist in what you know, eventually then if it's right, then it'll hold up. If it's wrong, then every single thing that's wrong about that will fall apart and you'll be able to keep what's real. And that's how the Zen Buddhists see the shit. And that's how gurus work. The metaphysical teachers, philosophers are nothing but gurus. These literally derived from gurus. And a guru in Hinduism and Buddhism and Sanskrit, overall, a guru literally is somebody who makes you persist in your foolery. They make you stay a fool and make you focus on your position in life right now. Like, for example, you got the tarot card. The first card in the tarot deck is the Fool. You feel me? Now, the second thing in the deck is the Empress. You feel me? Then after that, you got the Emperor. These three cards are important. You feel me? Because after you become, as a fool, the guru's job is literally to make you persist in your innocence. It makes you persist in your innocence as if you have not done anything wrong until you realize that innocence literally means that you feel like you have no responsibilities. But once you lose that and you realize I'm affecting this just like it affects me and I'm not just taking shit in, then you become an empress. You're more in control of things. You're more loving. You're more natural. It's more easier for you to create things and let things go. It's more easier for you to even learn things. Then the king, the emperor, you get that, and then it's like you are at a higher level now. But basically, I'm just saying that like the guru's purpose everywhere around the world is to make you persist in your foolery. But if you're a true guru, then you tell them that in a way, you tell them that even straightforward or in a way where they want to hear it at that time. But as a manipulator, you never tell them. You make them think that it's all them. You don't bring them to the center to help them see that it's all about, I can make a decision at any moment. Every time I make a decision, that builds the momentum of me making the next decision. They don't bring you back to that center if you're a manipulator. They literally want you to think that everything is your fault. And then on top of that, most manipulators don't want you to find your own solution. They want to find a solution for your problems for you. They don't want to give you the tools to help you find your solutions for any problem that you face for the rest of your life. Like the guru or the real guru does, or the real spiritual teacher does, or the real shaman does. That's what their job is. But the manipulator's job is literally to make you persist in your foolery without any intention ever of letting you know that you can be more than a fool, of trying to help you grow out of that foolery role. They want you to stay in it. And the best way to help somebody stay in that is by giving them shit that makes them feel innocent. You feel me? If I tell you that none of this is your fault, you have nothing to do with this, that's the literal opposite. That's the opposite of what our ancestors used to know. They literally took responsibility for almost everything. You can see it as egotistical to an extent, or you can truly just see it as taking responsibility for your actions. But the true ancestors that we want to respect are people who are balanced and centered. People who walk the middle path, which is a symbol for being balanced, which is a symbol for Mayat, which is a symbol for fucking living with your heart, living in your heart, which is the middle ground. You feel me? And this year will really this year, if you watch this video and you take in if you really trust me as I trust you, I will be your best friend. Because the people who are going to manipulate you, will not be able to do so. And on the contrary, a lot of manipulators see the people that they manipulate as prey, and they see them as weak. They don't see any life in them. They don't see anything. They don't see an ability to grow in them. So what they literally count on you staying weak. So you use that to your advantage. You manipulate them. You feel me? And I'm not saying manipulate everybody. Of course not. Be honest with the people who are honest with you, and manipulate those who want to manipulate you. You ever realize that fake people be happy in front of everybody, but they'll literally talk shit about somebody and then be happy around that same person? You ever seen how like somebody could do some fucked up shit to you and then still say I love you? Because that fucked up shit is what you really are. That's a part of you. But that I love you is, oh yeah, I'm innocent. I'm bringing my innocence back to you. This is what I truly am. But you're supposed to be conscious of both of these. And you're supposed to use your center to realize that person isn't centered. It's not about spirituality. It's not about being happy. It's about being centered, walking the middle path, being balanced. Not about being happy and shit all the time, or even being positive all the time. Because positivity in this world is nothing but manipulation. Considering that outside of your spirit, there is nothing in this world that's positive. There's nothing on this planet that's positive anymore besides the spirit that almost every being shares. Now, you express that truly and genuinely without any manipulation, then, you feel me, you would be positive. That's the truly most positive you can be, is to be balanced and to be content, you feel me, with everything. Because even when we're extremely excited, there's always this thought in the back of our head, the low, that's telling us, that's like set. Like you got horse and set inside of your head, or you got the third eye and the hypothalamus gland inside of your head, and you feel me, you're feeling happy. You feel me? You're feeling happy. You're going through a thrill, and then there's this voice in the back of your head. When is this going to stop? Or an image come in your head like, oh shit, this is not going to last. And, you know, some people would see that as negative. But the spirit only feeds you back what the spirit can only reflect. It can only absorb, and it can reflect. With that being said, the decisions that you make every day are being stored in your spirit, in your soul. And the thoughts that you think are being stored in your soul, you feel me? So when you're walking through this year, you feel me, make sure that when people try to make you aim for something that's not in the middle, you are aware in your mind to decide to choose the middle path, even if it leads to something negative to that person, because you are centered. And that means that you can see the positive and negative in anything. And if somebody only wants you to see them as positive, if somebody only wants you to see them positive, if somebody doesn't want you to critique them in any way, if somebody just wants you to think that they're perfect and there's nothing that could be wrong with them, or blah, 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 when they actually do wrong, or if you just naturally think there's something wrong with them, if you express it, if they take that offense, or if there's something wrong with criticizing or trying to make people grow, basically, outside of the current situation they in, not for a spiritual reason, but just because you're curious, your spirit wants you to know, then, you feel me, you should know automatically that that person is not to be trusted, and they're just trying to manipulate people around them. Also, don't hang around anybody who always wants to do drugs with you. If they only wants to do, if this year, if you are hanging around somebody who only wants to do a drug with you, or smoke a cigarette, or only hit you up when you want to do something that is external, if they don't never hit you up just to do some internal shit, like talk about feelings. No, that's not cool every day. I don't like doing this shit every day, but I like talking about feelings sometimes because I have feelings. And I'm not about to deny that. But, you know, you got to have that connection this year, like, even with yourself. And once you have it with yourself, you'll have it with other people. You'll have a balanced, centered relationships with everybody, because you'll see the pros and cons, and they won't be able to manipulate you with that positive shit or that romantic shit to be like, this is how I actually am. And then 5 months later, you figure out how the fuck they actually are. And that's because they weren't centered. You feel me? They weren't balanced. So don't be manipulated by this wall shit either, because the wall shit is all metaphysical. That the shit that they're trying to present with the wall and Donald Trump. That's why I'm saying that this is a time where you're either going to be controlled or controlling. Because that wall is a metaphysical symbol for separating the elite from the peasants, basically. That's what that wall is for. That's what that wall is a symbol from. You feel me? Separating the north from the south, the good from the bad, and they're in these people's mind. And they're manipulating you to separate they're manipulating you to go along with their idea or imagination, or what they